Hare Krishna. Today we are going to cover chapter number 1 of Bhagavad Gita titled Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. Before we do that, let's do the Mangalacharan and seek blessing from our Gurudev so that we are able to speak what they expect us from us to do. So we shall speak only their words, what we have learned from them. So Vande Shri Guru Shri Yutpat Kamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagan Raghunadasam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakha Samtascha Om Agyan Trimadasya Gyanancha Shalakya Chakshurunmilintam Yen Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha ओम नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौर विषय नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. First of all, my Dandavat Pranam to my Diksha Guru, Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, and thereafter my Dandavat Pranam to all my Shiksha Guru and to all the Vaishnavas who are listening to this audio and who will be listening thereafter. My Yatha Yog Dandavat Pranam to everybody. So chapter number 1 starts with Dhritarashtra speaking one question to Sanjay, and the rest of the chapter is all about the reply given by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra about his question. So the question which Dhritarashtra asked Sanjay, it goes like this. He asks Sanjay, the battle was about to start in Kurukshetra, and inquisitive Dhritarashtra, who is blind and was being narrated the story by the proceedings at the battlefield by his secretary Sanjay, and Dhritarashtra asks him, Dharmkshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yuyusvaha Mamkaha Pandavacha Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So this is the question asked by Dhritarashtra to Sanjay, which means, O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of the Pandu, they assembled in the place of pilgrimage, that is Kurukshetra, desiring to fight. What did they do? So this was the question, and then Sanjay replies what happened over there. In the first section of the chapter, especially shlok number 3 to 6, Sanjay speaks high about the proceedings which are going on towards the Pandav side. He speaks high about the generals of the Pandavas, which they had accumulated, and very, very powerful generals they were. And he says in the shlok number 3 to 6, he says, Oh, my teacher, he is talking about Duryodhan. Duryodhan is taking a round of the entire battlefield on his side before the war is starting, and he goes to his teacher, Dronacharya. So Duryodhan says to his teacher Dronacharya, Oh, my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. It had so happened that Dronacharya and King Drupad, they had little tussle among themselves. They were not going on well among themselves. So Drupad prayed and did an havan and asked as a boon from the gods to give him a son so that he could take revenge from Dronacharya and he could kill him. So he asked for his son who could kill Dronacharya. So his name was, and the gods blessed him, and his name was Drishtadumna. So this Drishtadyumna, who was the son of Drupad, he was the chief of the army of the Pandav side. So praising him, uh, Duryodhan tells to his teacher that see the other side, that is the Pandav side, the army which is very skillfully arranged for fighting by the son of Drupad, who is your own disciple. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhim and Arjun, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virat, and Drupad. So he is praising, Duryodhan is praising the Pandav side generals so that Dronacharya, who is the general of the army of the Kauravas, he knows the level of readiness of the Pandavas so that he is more ready, he is prepared to fight them. So Duryodhan further says there are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekiteda, Kashatriya, Purujit, Kundi Bhoja, and Sabya on the side of Pandavas. And these are all the people who are going to fight with us. Now, having said that, he is very diplomatic. Duryodhan is very diplomatic. Now, he may be thinking that he has said a bit too much about the generals of the Pandav side. Now he starts on the other side, he starts praising his own generals who are fighting, and he mentions specifically that they are superior to the generals of the Pandav side. So this is what he mentions Duryodhan in a very diplomatic manner, and he says there are personalities like you, Dronacharya Guru, Bhishma, Karna, Kirpacharya, Ashwathama, Vikarma, and the son of Somdatta, called Burishirvaha, who are always victorious in battle, and we have such people in our side. And we have grandfather Bhishma also on our side. So we are much, much superior in strength as compared to the Pandavas. He wants to win the side of all the generals also, very diplomatically. Then thereafter, he encourages the soldiers also. They're the people who are on the foot, who are not on the chariots, on the sides of the Kauravas. They are also ready to lay their lives for the sake of Duryodhan. So he praises them also, their role also. So having done these things, Duryodhan then looks after for reply from Dronacharya, but Dronacharya just simply listens to him and looks out towards Bhishma Pitama. Now then Bhishma Pitama blows his conch shell, Shank, and this gives a lot of joy to Duryodhan because it is like the roar of a lion. Bhishma Pitama, one of the greatest of the warriors on that battlefield at that particular time. He blew his conch shell, and that gave joy to Duryodhan. Later thereafter, the hero of Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna Bhagwan Ji, came in his chariot along with Arjun, and he blew his conch shell also. The conch shell, then everybody on the Pandav sides also started blowing their conch shells, and there are names given about the conch shells. शंख के नाम है. So the conch shell of Krishna is termed as Panchayojana. Arjun's conch shell is Devdatta. Bhim's conch shell is Pondra. Yudhishthir's conch shell or Shank is Ananta Vijaya. Nakul's conch shell is Sughasa. And Sadev's conch shell is Manu Pushpaka. And thereafter, all the Pandavas, the sons of Draupadi, and all the other kings who were fighting on the side of the Pandavas, they all blew their conch shells. And the sounds of the conch shells, of the readiness of the war, it created very much fear in the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. They became scared. So that was the announcement that the war is about to start and the readiness is there. Then Arjun picked up his bow and arrow, which is famously known as Gandhi. His bow is known as Gandhi. He picked up his Gandhi as a readiness to start the fight. And before he starts shooting his arrows, he requests Krishna Bhagwanji to take the chariot in the middle of the two armies so that he can see who on the Kaurav sides are willing to fight and lay their lives and sacrifice their properties to fight for the son of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, who want to fight on his side. He says, I want to see their faces. I want to know who all are there. So please take the chariot towards the middle of the two armies. So Krishna Bhagwanji deliberately takes it in front of Bhishma Pitama. And you must be knowing that Arjun was one of the most beloved grandchild of Bhishma Pitama. And immediately on seeing Bhishma Pitama that I have to kill him, I have to fight with him, then only I can win the war. And then he saw his gurus, his brother-in-laws, his relatives, his friends. He saw everybody who wanted to fight, whom he has to kill in case he has to win the war. Then Arjun became full of compassion. He became overwhelmed with compassion. मोह, जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं मोह, उसको मोह का भाव आ गया. He says, how can I fight with these people with whom I have grown up, who are, I mean, everything to me? How can I fight them? Then he gives the four reasons as to why he will not fight. And Krishna Bhagwanji says not a single sentence, he just listens to him. And the four reasons which Arjun gives for not fighting the war are like this. The first one is that he is overwhelmed with compassion. That all these people, that all these people are my own relatives. And these are given in shlok number 26 of the chapter number 1. There, Arjun could see within the midst of the armies, both the parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-laws and well-wishers. So these were the people he saw, and he became full, overwhelmed with compassion. Moho se jakad gaya. And this was the first reason Arjun gave. And the second reason was that how can he kill his own relatives? And this is given in shlok number 32 to 35. And this one he says, O Krishna Bhagwan, O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, and even life itself, when all those for whom we have may desire them are arrayed on the battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, father-in-law, grandsons, brother-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, O Madhusudana, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, स्वर्ग, पताल, पृथ्वी. अगर ये तीनों मेरे को मिल जाए और इनको मेरे को मार के ये मिल जाए, तो then also I am not ready to fight. Let alone on this earth. What pleasure will be we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? So that is the reason number two. And he says, after killing them, um, we shall incur sin. पाप लगेगा हम लोगों को. That is the third reason he gives. When you kill your own friends, your own relatives, for the satisfaction of your own uh, senses, for sense gratification, for enjoyment, when you kill your own brothers and sisters and their husbands, sisters, husbands, friends, grandfathers, fathers, uncles, it will lead to sin. And the fourth reason he says, when the men folk of both the side they die, the women which are not in the battlefield, they will be approached by unscrupulous people and men, and unwanted children will be born. And those children, there is no assurance that they will follow the Vedas and the Shastras. And then all the forefathers in the heavens, they will all go to hell. There will be chaos on the planet. Nobody will follow Shastra. The next generation, which is born out of the widows of this army people who are standing over here, that will be totally chaos. They will be going against the Shastra. And this is against the Dharma. And this is not what we want to do. So these are the four reasons given by Arjun not to fight. So, dear devotees, the chapter started with the question asked by Dhritarashtra. O Sanjay, both Pandavas and the Kauravas, they have assembled in the Dharam Kshetra, Kurukshetra. Now tell me what is happening over there. So this is what is happening. Arjun, at the end, speaks not through his mouth. He speaks through his body. He sits down on his chariot, leaves aside his Gandhi or the Dhanush or the bow, and he says, I'm not going to fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear devotees, this is the end of chapter number 1, where Arjun, out of compassion, overwhelmed with compassion, he forgives to fight and he surrenders to Krishna Bhagwanji. Sorry, I'm not going to fight in this battle. So that is the end of chapter number 1, and we shall now continue with chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the summary of the entire Gita. It gives us lots of things to learn, and we will be fortunate that we shall be now discussing it together. So thank you very much for being with me, and do tuned in, and we will like this capture and take up each and every chapter separately. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.